Welcome to another edition of In Focus. I'm Jennifer Fuller. As we close out the year for 2020, things certainly look and feel a lot different. The typical hustle and bustle isn't as evident, and the holiday season is taking on new meaning for many across our world. But for most of us, this time of year still pulls the focus to gifts and giving. This year's holidays may look a lot different thanks to COVID-19. Those changes can be more difficult for some to adapt to. Steph Whiteside takes a closer look.
I just wanted to start talking with you a little bit about holiday traditions. Can you speak to a little bit about why the traditions we have around the holidays are just so important to people psychologically?
Well, holiday traditions give us a sense of normalcy, especially in times that are difficult and troubled. We often depend on our memories from better times, and those are often triggered by holiday traditions. So their importance, especially in these days, can't be understated.
What might people think about if they do want to start a new tradition, something that they can do this year that doesn't have any of those memories of things they'll be missing out? What are the types of things someone should think about when they're doing that?
Well, I think what's a new tradition for one person or one family may be a cherished tradition for another family, but if it's new to you, then the significance can still be there as a new tradition. Good holiday traditions are inclusive of people. They try to include people that we may not see very often. Good holiday traditions are not super complicated. They can be very simple. So I would say those are the most important aspects of it, is just inclusive of everybody and simple in their nature.
Priya Parker wrote The Art of the Gathering and is the host of the New York Times podcast, Together Apart. Yeah, so your book has a lot of really great ideas for how to gather people together and connect authentically, but we can't do most of them right now. And especially with the holidays coming up, I wanted to hear a little bit from you about what are some of the ways that kind of people can gather while still being safe?
So, the biggest message in The Art of Gathering is that we tend to focus too much on form before we actually ask what the function is, but we ask what the purpose is, but we ask what the need of the gathering is. And the more obvious seeming the gathering is, whether it's Thanksgiving dinner or a wedding or a birthday party, the more likely we are to skip asking, like, what is the need that we have this year? And how can I use my birthday party to help address it? So similarly, as it comes to holiday gatherings, to not assume that the purpose is obvious, and to actually ask yourself and then the people you want to include, like, what is it that we need this year? And for different families, for different individuals within families, the answer is going to be different. So for some, it may be a sense of release or celebration or adventure. For some, it might be a sense of like more quiet and a time to relax or rejuvenate. For some, it may be a time to mourn, right? It's been a really tough year, and to actually just have a second to grieve. And those are very different needs, and they're all okay, but you can't address them if you don't know what they are.
I think a lot of people kind of feel a sense of loss if they're thinking about doing a virtual version of a normal tradition, right? Because it just feels like a pale imitation sometimes. So what are some ideas of kind of things people can think about as they create a new tradition? Maybe take this opportunity to build something new, so you're not comparing it to what it was before.
There is a designer named Aaron Lewis, and he tweeted about this early in the pandemic, and he said something like, he called it, it's like a technical term, but he called it social skeuomorphism. And what he said is, It's that feeling when you are trying to replicate online what you used to do offline and you just feel sad. And part of what, and he said part of the opportunity here is to create uniquely digital moments, right? One of the, like a global pandemic is not new. We've had them before, 1918, other times. What is new is these virtual tools that we have. And it's, it's, so let me, like, practically, say you used to love making Christmas breakfast together, or, or a special birthday, someone has a special birthday on New Year's Day or whatever it is. And you decide you're not going to do it together. What would it look like if you chose a specific time, 10 a.m. or a specific time that meant a lot, the time of that person's birth, like they were born at 9:47 a.m. So we're all going to Zoom in at 9:47 a.m. and we're going to all bake their favorite specific brand of bacon, or favorite specific donut hole, or, fill in the blank. And we're going to kind of live stream cooking together. Do we do it forever? No, you don't need to. But maybe in the invention, you find something that actually works. Maybe not for Thanksgiving next year, but for all the other times in the year that you wouldn't think to be together, but you can.
Experts say if you are struggling, there are resources that can provide help. You can talk with your primary care physician or one of the social service agencies in your region to seek out the care you need. When it comes to giving, one church in Williamson County is trying to be a big help for the community around them. Benji Jeffords shows us how the Temple Refuge Church in Marion is helping hundreds of people with a mobile food pantry.
Have a good one. You too.
During the season of giving, Refuge Temple Church in Marion gave away thousands of boxes of food.
Come on up some more. Come on up some more.
Every Monday at 3 during November and December, the church's parking lot became a mobile food pantry.
This is what we're doing here at Refuge Temple, and just trying to help the community during the time of need. And these are some needful times right through now. And I just thank for this opportunity to share what we have or what we can get to the people.
Pastor Larry Lee and a handful of church members set hundreds of boxes of food on each side of the parking lot to form 2 lines and load 6 cars at a time. This time, each box comes with milk, sour cream, yogurt, a bag of potatoes, oranges, pomegranates, celery, carrots, pre-cooked eggs, chicken, and a bag of cheese. On the day I was there, the line of cars stretched about 1/3 of a mile long, reaching back to Main Street. I asked Pastor Lee what's going through his mind when he sees such a long line of cars.
I'm thanking God, hoping I get 2 more trucks next week. I'm hoping I get some more trucks for the people, because I just don't believe these people are coming out here just to be coming. And we start serving at 3 o'clock, and right now it's just now 2 o'clock. And people have been sitting there since 12:30. So that's what's in my mind. It's got to be a need.
There have been other food relief distributions in the region during this pandemic.
You're welcome. Have a good day.
But Pastor Lee says it's not about publicity or social media attention. His passion for helping the community caught the right person's attention.
We was fortunate enough to get it to come every month, once a week. The young man I was dealing with, he saw the sincerity of my heart about trying to do something. It's not about trying to be big and trying to make a name for yourself. It's about trying to help out. And when he saw the sincerity of my heart as far as sharing, and you get your sincere, it means much. And so that's why I was fortunate enough to get it once a week.
Left my gloves at home.
The spirit of giving and helping others goes beyond the food for this congregation. They also give to each other.
Left my gloves.
You still, here, you want mine?
Brother.
Here,
You
I'm
work.
good.
You
Here.
work hard.
Here,
You work hard though.
girl, get them dang on gloves.
Well, they want to.
All right.
Church member Ron Bowling lives in Mount Vernon and drives nearly an hour each week to give his time to put boxes in vehicles during the mobile pantry.
It doesn't matter about the time, since right now I am retired, thank God, and I'm enjoying my retirement, coming down and helping with the church. Anything they need to do, I'm here. I'm ready and willing and able to do whatever I need to do to help the pastor, whatever he needs.
When it comes to people in need, Bowling says before retirement there were times when he might be in a line at an event like this and is happy he's able to help.
The need is great. And I mean, it's just not in Marion, it's all over. And I'm glad we're sitting there helping who we can help. I've been in that situation before where I didn't have a job. But I thank God, that we are doing something to help the community.
The Monday before Thanksgiving, Pastor Lee says they were able to give a turkey to the first 100 people in line and is praying some donations come through so he can do the same the week leading into Christmas.
I would like to pass out 150, about 125 turkeys to the first 100 people so in the line, We can't give everybody one. We're not fortunate. I'm not that blessed yet. Amen. But if I were, I would have enough for everyone. But right now, I'm just trying to do at least about to the first 115 people, first 120 cars.
The members of Temple Refuge hope these boxes will aid everyone in line and make up for any hardships they've experienced over the last 9 months.
The red truck got some, y'all.
It's just trying to, with a need to help people. And this is where it's at. And as long as the Lord bless me to get a truck to come through, it don't have to be Christmas. It don't have to be New Year. It don't have to be no holiday. I'm going to have that truck out there every week as long as I can get it, as long as this pandemic, as long as these people have been laid off from work. People can't even hardly draw unemployment right now. So yes, every little bit helps.
On this cold afternoon, people like Bowling find something inside to keep them warm.
To see the smiles of the faces of people that come through in the cars, that smile means a whole lot to my heart.
You're welcome.
Pastor Lee says right now they don't have any trucks coming after Christmas, but he's not giving up.
Hopefully I can get it, keep it going. But I don't know. I don't know how the food will last up. I don't know. But as long as we get it, we're going to share it with the community.
In Focus in Marion, I'm Benji Jeffords.
The work is a lot harder this year for the Toys for Tots program, too. For some, it's the only way to bring joy for the holiday season. Julie Staley is in Springfield to see that they're facing their toughest year yet.
Toys for Tots has always provided for families in need, but this year their need is greater than ever.
With both my parents working, we barely had enough to get by. There's a lot of times there was no food in the house. So Christmas and birthdays, those are luxuries that we never got a chance to partake in. So that definitely did affect me, and it affects the way I raise my kids now, because I want them to have everything that I never had, So even with other people's kids, when I see that them struggling, even prior to taking this over, I always did the best I could to help them, just provide for their family too.
Gunnery Sergeant Justin Driscoll remembers clearly what Christmas was like for him as a child. Now he's helping families in the Springfield area have a Christmas they will cherish. Driscoll is the coordinator of the Springfield Area Toys for Tots program.
For me to be able to give this experience all my heart and my time is humbling for me. And then as a kid who woke up on Christmas with no toys, that is, it's heartbreaking. And I did it for years and years and years. I can get emotional just thinking about it. But to be able to make sure these kids have toys on Christmas is what I love.
Toys for Tots was started as a national organization in 1947 to help families get back on their feet after World War II. They've given out more than 500 million toys in the U.S. Driscoll says this year is the toughest they've ever seen in central Illinois.
Donations this year are definitely on the decline compared to last year. This warehouse last year would be completely full of toys by this time. Right now we barely have enough to cover the agency requests that we have, but nobody wants their kid to wake up Christmas morning and not have a present under the tree. So we're doing everything we can to make sure that every kid does have a gift.
This load of toys is heading out to just one organization that helps families. This is more than twice as many toys as they normally need.
And it's also very humbling for us to see the amount of need in our community, which is why we rely heavily on our community just to help us. Even through this pandemic, we know it's hard on everybody, and everybody has been impacted in some way. But everything that we do here is for the kids, is to make sure that every kid does have a Christmas, and we're working our best to do that what we can to make sure that happens.
Toys for Tots in Sangamon and Menard counties serves 40 nonprofits. Just last year, they gave out almost 15,000 toys.
Well, this year, what's a little bit different than every other year is that all the toys have to sit for a 7-day period before we could even begin sorting the toys. So that really takes away from our time to be able to distribute.
Drop-off bins were collected on December 15th, but you can donate money to Toys for Tots through their website.
And then we use that money to purchase toys for the age ranges where we're lacking, which this year is definitely our older kids. They tend to get forgotten during donation time. So we do use that money to purchase gifts for the older kids. So like our 10 to 15 range boys and girls.
They can also use your time. Toys for Tots relies on volunteers to make sure they reach every family who asks for help. Driscoll and his family are working together to cover what they need.
And without them, like my job would be 100 times harder, being to try to fill individual orders. So they definitely help us that way. But the individual families that call me, when I'm calling them and telling them that they've been approved for their toy requests, and they just break down crying on the phone because they've been so worried that Christmas wasn't going to happen, I just couldn't even put in words. It's just amazing.
And once all these toys have been handed out, the donations are still accepted year-round. You can find out more information by going to their website. For In Focus, I'm Julie Staley.
While it may be hard for many of us to give of ourselves as we're accustomed to during the holiday season, many groups across Illinois are still finding new ways to celebrate and give back. In Decatur, for example, the Area Arts Council is offering a safe outdoor activity that families can experience together. Mark McDonald takes a walk along Christmas Card Lane.
Jerry Johnson, the executive director of the Decatur Area Arts Council, has offered to take us a walk through Christmas Card Lane. Sorry, Jerry. It's become an annual thing here in Decatur, but this year it's kind of special because it's something families can do outdoors.
Right. This is our third annual Christmas Card Lane, and we've tried to expand our public art projects. And one of the things I love about this Christmas Card Lane is that not only is it a public art project that people can enjoy by driving by or walking through, but people can actually participate. And I think that's really important, especially this time of year.
Yeah, there are 18 Christmas cards here that families can enjoy as they go. We have to stop and look at this one because this one has an interesting story. What about the young lady that did this one?
Yeah, Hannah had a heart transplant, and she is an artist, but she was just very excited about putting out a positive message, especially one about what people can do to help others in terms of donating life.
That's precious.
Yeah.
That is really precious.
Yeah.
Okay, so there are 18 Christmas cards here.
Right.
And the Arts Council actually provides the board and primes it.
Right.
The artist takes the board home and does the creative work and brings it back. How does that all come together?
Usually over a period of weeks. We put out a call in September for artists who might be interested. They can come up to pick up their boards in October. That gives them about a month to do all the work. Some are groups, some are individual artists. And then we install them here on a weekend just before Thanksgiving.
And then, loud truck. And then people have from Thanksgiving until like the first of the year, I guess, to view them.
Yes, they'll be up until the end of the year. One of the things that we always think is fun is it's actually not just an exhibit, but a competition in a way. So if you can come and check out the exhibit here, and then go to our website, decaturarts.org/vote, and vote for your favorite. And the top 3 vote getters will win modest cash prizes.
Well, isn't that nice? So the artists, okay, they pay $25 to enter.
Right.
You provide the board, they provide the art. You put it up on city property.
Right.
And then if they're really good, they get a cash reward or cash prize.
Yeah, if they're good or they're popular. I mean, we've had school classes and church groups who have just kind of rallied their troops to vote for them on Facebook, and they've been fortunate enough to win our prizes.
Yeah. And there is a banner here that tells people how they can go online and how they can do their vote.
Right.
That works out really well. And you have provided some of the artists here for us. We get to take a look at some of these, get a firsthand look with the artist.
Yeah, we've had one artist here that's been involved in all 3 years so far.
Okay, well, let's talk to that person.
Okay.
Cheryl Polly, your third year doing this?
Yes, I started with the first year.
Is that right? Has it been an enjoyable experience?
Very. My family is always encouraging me, and they told me about this, and I'm so glad to have had the opportunity to do this.
You have some real talent. I'm looking at these pets. First tell us about the pets, and then we'll talk about your talent.
Yeah, these are my family pets, my granddaughter, my daughter, and mine. So.
Do they all get together for the holidays like this?
No, I didn't set them up like this in real life.
Okay, which one is yours? German Shepherd?
No, the German Shepherds are my daughters. The cat is mine. The cat is my daughter's. My granddaughters, 2 dogs are here. And then my pup is over there in the corner.
That's your pup. Okay,
Yeah.
and what kind of pup is that?
He's a rat terrier.
A rat terrier.
Yeah, and he was my dad's dog, so I got him when he passed. So.
I said that you have some real talent. It's obvious when you look at some of these that some people have more talent than others. Do you have a background in art?
It's something that I've always enjoyed doing. So my parents always encouraged me with Christmas presents that had to do with art. So it's just kind of build up. Like they say, the more you do it, the better you get.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
I've seen that.
Have you won a cash prize from your work?
The first year I won second prize.
Is that right?
And then I donated it back to the art council.
Well, good for you. I have a feeling you're going to win some this year too.
Well, that would be nice. I would like to help them out once again.
Okay, Sandy Sand, but now I've seen the movie Elf, but I'm not sure I know what it means to don't be a cotton-headed ninny-muggins.
I'm not sure I know what it means either.
You did this one because you work at the Children's Museum of Illinois here in Decatur.
Yes.
And you do design work for them.
Yes.
And they wanted to have a presence here, so they said, hey, Sandy, put one together for us, huh?
Yep, so we did. We went through a bunch of different drawings and a lot of Will Ferrell fans at the Children's Museum, so we kind of focused in on Elf, and we went through about 4 renditions before they chose the cotton-headed ninny-muggins.
Yeah, yeah, and he blurts that out in the movie and nobody really knows what it means, but it's hilarious.
Yes. I love his movies as well, so.
Yeah, he is great. Now, a little about the Children's Museum. Like all museums, it's been closed for most of this year, hasn't it?
Yes, we closed on March 15th.
That's just pitiful because it's a beautiful place.
Yep, and I honestly love it there. It's a great job, it's a great place to work, and I love educating the kids.
Yeah.
So we had to kind of take a different route and do online education, and we've made a lot of kits that we've sent out to families so we can keep focused on the
Well,
mission.
it's good, you know, I mean, they can't be open, but it's nice to have a presence here and they kind of keep their presence going throughout the community, don't they?
Right, yeah, we don't want people to forget about us.
Yeah.
So whenever things get back to normal, we're going to be there.
Liz King, is this your first year doing this?
Yes, this is my first year doing one of the Christmas walk cards.
Yeah, and why did you decide to do it this year?
Well, Ellie and I were both affiliated with the church. She had been familiar with the program, and she just decided this year we wanted to do something fun to promote the church in a unique way. And we decided to contact the Arts Council, see how you become involved, and it was so simple and easy that we decided that we just wanted to go ahead and do a card this year.
You know, if you had everybody in your church vote for you, you'd probably win.
Well, we're trying really hard to do that. And it's so easy to vote, so we're just encouraging everyone to take part. Absolutely.
Tell us about your piece of work here and how you made the decisions on what you were going to paint.
We did a little research, looked at some past winners, as a matter of fact, and decided we wanted something fun and colorful and bright and unique. And we just decided, you know, there's nothing happier than little Christmas trees, and we definitely wanted to incorporate a bright, shiny star and a reference to the Christmas story that is, of course, you know, really important to Mound Chapel. You know, keeping that foundation of Christmas, and you know, having fun with it at the same time.
Yeah. Did you have a background in art?
I did. Actually, I attended Milliken's art program, Milliken University here in Decatur, and. Yeah, so I have some professional training, and it was a really fun project.
Yeah, of course you had some help. Like you said, this young lady that helped you, she helped you conceive it and also put it together.
And a little bit, yes. Ellie and her daughter Renee, the 3 of us spent some evenings in the basement of the church doing some painting and having some fun with the project.
Yep, well, it looks terrific, and it fits right in with everything else here. This is a really nice project.
It really is, yes. And this time of year, especially this year, getting people who are able to walk around outside and take part in something so fun and still very safe, it's a great program.
Yeah. Well, thanks for visiting with us. We appreciate it. And thanks for participating in this program. That's nice.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Well, this setup here will be in the park here downtown Decatur until around January 1st. And come down, take a look. You can vote for your favorite piece of art, and it'll be here, like I say, till the end of the year. In Decatur, in Focus, I'm Mark McDonald.
And thanks for joining us for this edition of In Focus. From all of us here, have a happy holidays.
Well, hi guys, how are you? The most thing is about the schools, about what they're doing at school, whether they're spending time at school. I had a little boy the other day said, I can't wait for school to open up. My mom's a lot worse than my teacher was. And the number of presents the kids are actually asking for is diminished. I mean, when I first started doing this, I had a girl come in here with a scroll. and it hit the floor and rolled all the way to the photography thing, both sides. You know, but now, you see those lists, there's maybe 2 things, 3 things. Well, you know, they make that reindeer mix, but I'll tell you what, just an old carrots, they love carrots. I don't think I've had anybody, I had a dad, we put him on the naughty list, but the rest of them are all on the nice list. You know, thus the chairs down here that say naughty and nice on both sides. You know what? I'm happy to tell you, you're on my nice list. And by the way, I want to be the first to tell you, thanks for being on the nice list. Okay? You guys have done a good job. I'm very proud of you. Wash your hands. The other thing is keep distances. 6 foot, 6 foot, 6 foot, 6 foot. And the last one is these masks. If you do the mask like you want to do the mask and have some fun with it, have you seen some of the things written on some of these masks?